affinity, but I think Hots Lady, they are too determined and they're too strong right now.
Yeah, I would argue both me and you, we have, like, if we had to, like, say our favorites in terms of who is going to win, we're obviously going to say SPT or CE or E-Star, something like that. But we both have our, like, middle of the road favorites that we both like. Yours is, was it SOA or Hot Lady?
Mine is SOA, definitely.
That's fair. So yours is SOA, mine is RPG. Both have our favorites. And SOA, they are picking the first map, and it's going to be the Infernal Shrines. And they have a couple wins here, so that's a fair enough one.
Their win ratio actually looking stronger than the one of Hots Lady, so maybe that was the reason why they chose this battleground. You know, a little bit of research also needs to be done when you take a look at the opposing team's battlegrounds win ratios. So really, really well chosen here. But also, even if they didn't do the research, Infernal Shrines is just such a good map to start a series with. Many different playstyles can be executed. The map objective is not as snowbally as on other maps, so you can come back a little bit more easily, especially when compared to maps like Sky Temple, for instance. So yeah, I do like it so far. The Oriole ban, and that's something, Tetcher, that we saw on the weekend, especially in Korea, quite a bit.
Yeah, we did. Ariel sort of moved up as one of the most popular supports because of the prevalence of Vala and Cassia as sort of the two of the main ranged assassins these days. Also the Grey main. Ariel works well with all of these heroes, even Lunara. So it's a fair ban because it also means that you do have a better chance of picking up the Uther. So you still remove something really good for your opponents, and you still get something really good. Or if they ban the Uther as well, you get Genji. It's a really solid starting ban these days.
Definitely. I mean, if you watch any region in Professional Heroes of the Storm these days, you will always notice how powerful a good Genji can be. And every region has those Genji players. So getting him out of the way, not risking losing to the Dragon Blade, resets galore is just super solid. Now, Uther, isn't it funny how teams all over the place still pick him despite those significant nerfs, especially to Guardian of the Ancient Kings?
He's still good. You can still not. You didn't have to automatically pick Guardian of the Ancient Kings. It just meant back when it was super really powerful that you had to pick a different comp into Uther. You had to pick a really slow-based comp, for example, to try and avoid Guardian of the Ancient Kings. Nowadays, still just is he's still really good. He hasn't changed a huge amount other than that Guardian nerf. So everything else is still upper tier. He's still very strong, and as such fits perfectly into, as we see here, double support comps. Going to see the Vala, Tassadar, Uther here to start off.
Yeah, but already I think a strong beginning here as well for SOA. They have the global presence with the Haka. They have Grayman, which overall, when you face a double support comp, Grayman is definitely one of my most favorite assassins to pick here because of his sheer damage output. Also the Curse Bullet ignoring any form of armor that Uther can put out. So definitely a very nice choice here. Now, what are they going to ban? They don't need to ban support, obviously. So maybe going for a nice tank, going for Arthas. There we go. They denied. Also, because Carlo, of course, the main tank from Hots Lady, is a renowned Arthas player.
Yeah. Both of these teams give each other a lot of respect. Yeah. The Genji ban is really nice because Meng plays it a lot. That was the hero he really started turning things around on. The Carlo ban, like you said, with that Arthas. The Zarya ban to deal with Uncle G. We see a lot of focus from these teams on each other's heroes, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, really cool to see indeed. Now, if SOA, there's two ways to approach this. If they want to hide a pick, they pick the support right now. If they don't want to hide anything, if they want to secure themselves a couple of really strong picks before the enemies do, then of course they wait for the support, because obviously there's no rush, there's no stress, because there's no way Hots Lady is going to pick another one. They're not Team Expert after all, who still ran this beautiful triple support on Battlefield the other day.
If it works, we can't exactly knock it. Also, I did realize something, that since Zealots joined the ranks of the HGC teams, that means there are now an equal number of teams with Swedish players in them than there are German players.
Nice!
Because Germans sort of dominated HGC for a while now, but since Poik for Zealots joined, we have two in Tricked, one in Expert, one in Zealots, and of course 5 in Fnatic.
Yeah, that is actually pretty cool. Man, speaking of Poik, by the way, just a quick throw in here. Man, his Genji, or his assassin play, his Tracer on the weekend, I think he's easily one of the most promising players in Europe, maybe even in the world. I think Zealot as a whole, they look so good right now.
He's Bay. Me and Grumpy are super proud of him. showing the amount of talent we can see from Open Division.
Yeah.
But now, though, they're seeing a second Sonya coming in. With the second time we've seen her today in 3 games. So nice to see straight away. And with the Rhaegar to go with it, so they are showing their support. And they're still probably going to go with another tank, which is why I really, really like this Malthael pickup here. Because if you know they're going to go with another tank, then use that percentage damage. A second ranged would mean you have to go for a really hard tank yourself, which means Greyman could go Curse Bullet and that tank could get ruined. So I like this. The Tyrael for lots of protection, and then the Malthael, they've got double Angels, lots of protection for those Angels. They can get some good value out of this.
It's crazy how Malthael keeps making it through. None of the teams that we've seen so far has really banned him that much, and despite the fact that he's available, he still makes it in at the very penultimate or very last position. So Malthael, I'm not really sure if China doesn't respect him as much, or if they're like, yeah, sure.
I think he is a reactionary pick. Like, he's really bad in comps where he doesn't fit, or against comps that could just deal with him. Like right now, let's count the amount of CC that he would have to deal with. There's a spear, leap, tongue, isolation, and I guess totem slows, which don't count.
Yeah, and most of those are skill shots too, so there's not always 100% guarantee that those are going to hit.
So they are going with the Hacker sort of pseudo-solo tank, with Sonya as the pseudo-second tank slash bruiser.
Yeah.
And then Falstad as a second range damage dealer. Interesting by SOA.
They've got double globals, but they've got 2 warriors, I might want to say, that kind of fulfill the same role, namely that of a solo laner. So is Sonya going to rotate alongside with the rest of her allies, or is it going to be Dehaka? It's kind of weird because you're not used to seeing Dehaka as the main tank, because he's so unreliable at times, it seems, because you're normally known as the one who split pushes and soaks for as long as possible, only to arrive in the nick of time and flank people from the sides. You're not that traditional.
I'd like to see him take the Globe talent, level 1. Just give him maximum sustain. Make it so that he's really hard to deal with. We'll see if they are going to do that, though. An interesting strategy they could do, in theory, would just be to leave the Hacker in one lane, Falstead in the other in terms of side lanes, and then center lane stick Sonya, and have the other 2 rotate. Just Rhaegar, Greymane rotation. Which, to be fair, is a lot of burst.
I mean, the double Dogo gang squad could certainly be a thing that we might see there, and I wouldn't hate it. As you said, I wouldn't hate it. I think all 3 lanes, if you win for that strategy, would be exceptionally powerful. All set a real 1 versus 1 bully. I think a lot of people still don't value the power of a ranged assassin in a solo lane enough. Like, if it's a Tychus or a Falstead, all those heroes are extremely hard to deal with when you are a melee hero. But anyway, guys, first game is going to take place here in a bit between HOTS Lady and SOA.
Alright guys, welcome to the Infernal Shrines. Whereas, spawning on the left-hand side, it is going to be Start Over Again, aka SOA, with Fei playing the Rhaegar, Uncle G on the Falstad, Tank Ovo on Dehaka, Spark BZ on Sonya, and Shy is playing the Greymane.
And on the right-hand side, we have the ladies in red, HOTS Lady. With Y on the Vala, we've got Palmy on his Uther, Lias is playing Malthael, Meng on the Tassadar, and Carlo on the frontliner, the Tyrael. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a very scary draft, if I may say so. It's going to take perfect execution and, more importantly, timing from SOA here, because they have the double global, and those 2 heroes, Falstad and Dehaka, are definitely going to try to get as much split pushing value in as possible. So coordinating those 2 things, the flight and of course the brush stock, is going to take a lot of timing. And look at that level 1 talent potential from Dehaka.
It is the speed talent. Okay,
so no globes, unfortunately.
That's fine. He can still get the value out of mobility and just go for a burst comp as opposed to an actual tank. So instead of, they are basically, the way they're going to be playing is as if they don't have a tank. Like, you'll still run adaptation because, you know, you kind of want to live. But there's a good chance they will just be going for as much blow up as possible. Nice first tower there, grabbed by SOA.
Also nice map awareness here. They retreated just right, just before Hot Lady could go in for that early gank, and they got the tower, as you said. Very, very important to get those early objectives and those early buildings, because the Punishers are not that powerful in the early stages of the game. They can get killed very easily, they can get distracted very easily, so the more towers you actually destroy beforehand, the more value you're going to get, and the more likely you're going to take down those forts. And once again, Assign Fusion Tassadar. Really cool to see how this W build seems to be the new go-to.
On this map especially, just due to the crazy amount of AoE it could offer, Faye getting a good amount of damage chucked off him, so he's forced to back up to heal up Shy here. Also, as it has been pointed out by the chat, Cloud game on point coming in from Hot Lady. They have all 3 clouds, which actually messes up my statistics, because I have noticed that Angry Clouds are winning way more games in HGC China than Sad Clouds are. Sad Clouds are like 1 and 6, whereas Angry Clouds are 5 and 0. Sorry, 5 and 2.
Next level statistic, Tetra. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm digging it. I'm loving it.
So there you go, guys. Currently, except for Hot City messing up my stats, Angry Cloud, a little bit better for you, it seems.
Okay. Now, Shine needs to be careful. Holy cow, he's got 10 armor and Morgan form, but he just wouldn't let go, and he gets the kill.
They do, they're going for Pommy though. Focus down, down goes that Uther, but it's Uther gonna drop that healing. It's still a 2 for 0. Can they get Faye as a revenge? Malthael driving in and picks up that kill, making it a 2 for 1 currently. Still in favor of SOA, and as such, we are just seeing Sonya just left alone on the point, getting all those spins.
Yeah, Shy, he basically caught so much attention here from Huxley. He made it out alive, which was a big win. And Faye giving his life, I think he's going to be able to live with that, because they got so many skulls here, so many skeletons in the meantime, and especially Sonya, Spark BZ. He was a target that they wouldn't want to lose because of the wave clear, and also Uncle G on the false end. Just putting on a clinic here. His damage has been insane so far.
Yes, it has, as they go back in again. Looks like they're not committing. Hot Lady might have got a little bit of too much more than they could chew there. And as such, they do lose Tyrael. And this Punisher now going to get even more value, so it'll continue to push in. Also, people asking about the Happy Cloud. It's pretty even right now. It's 4 and 4.
Here we go. Can't really go wrong with the Happy Cloud. Personally, it is my favorite cloud by far. And look at SOA. They don't even care about the Punisher, because you saw the Haka burrowing top, you saw Falstad flying bottom, and they get so much more XP out of this than maybe wasting time in the middle, getting a tower here, a tower there. No, they're all about minion waves, they're all about soaking as much as they can, and now with, of course, a level 7 talent advantage, they go for the mercenaries themselves. So SOA playing this map very, very smartly here in those first 4 minutes.
Indeed, they are putting on a bit of a show here, actually showing up Hot Lady for now. Hot Lady making some questionable decisions on engagements, but Z pushing it to the limit, walking along the Razor's Edge, but was able to take down the Fallen Shaman camp.
Yeah, if anyone from Hot Lady had seen that, they would have been like, yep, I'll take that, thank you very much. But, of course, they were busy defending and they had good vision of them anyway. Oh, look at that, by the way. Kala's celerity at level 4, Tetra. Sorry.
Ah, the speed boost. I like this. I really like this town. Look at it go. Look at Valor. You can't catch her. She's in full micro mode. Able to outrun Dahaka here. Dahaka's not fully stacked yet, so that will change late game. But for now, going to give them a lot of protection. I also like to think that Sonya on that camp there was just not told her team. It was just like, okay, I took a little bit of damage on the camp, gonna go B. just didn't tell them that she nearly died.
There we go. So, is that Zealotry on Tyrael at level 7?
Yes, I believe so. The extra duration on the shield.
And the cooldown reduction also. So, Tyrael is gonna become as tanky as humanly possible. I mean, he is the only frontliner after all, so it's definitely his job. And I would actually lean towards the Sanctification play here as well, because A, they do have Malthael, who thrives when he's being protected, and B, they also have Uther, who could still go Divine Shield. And as nice as double protection is, sometimes you have the risk of overlapping your Divine Shield and Sanctification if communication is not on point, and also, quite frankly, you just don't need that much protection in most team fights.
Having to roll backwards, using that shield though, blocks a bit of the Hungering Arrow damage, so get some value out of that. Nicely done. That's the next objective, already spawning, and why? Activating it straight away. SOA still ahead though, but they're burning time here. They're trying to race to 10, and as such, this is probably going to be Hot Lady's objective, and the SOA react a lot quicker.
Yeah, all Soa needs to do right now is maybe to snatch a couple of skeletons away and stall as much time as they can, while in the meantime, Sonya and Dahaka, plus that mercenary camp, that fallen shaman camp, they're definitely going to take care of this fort. And now level 10 has been unlocked. I don't think they want to contest the shrine. Level 10 for them is enough because they're like, you know what? We can take this Punisher. Without heroic abilities, you can't do anything to us, and we're gonna punish you hard if you are getting a little bit too reckless and cheeky. So I like the decision making here.
He didn't even take adaptation. They are going so all in on damage here to try and just burst people. If Hot Lady could just sag through the damage, it's over. I think Soa have just given up, not given up the game, but I think they've just made a terrible decision here.
Yeah, I think the isolation, as you said, is a little bit too risky and it is not needed. It is not like you are guaranteed to get tons of value because, as you said, there's so much counterplay to that, especially with Tyrael, of course. So, remains to be seen if it's going to pay off. We have seen crazy isolation plays in China before, especially at level 20 when you get the upgrade and you have multiple people blinded and silenced. But for now, I agree, Tetcher, I'm a little bit skeptical. Double protection, there we go.
Pull it off. Yeah, sanctification and D-shield. Just keep everyone alive, keep that Malthael rocking through, block the burst damage coming in from that isolation. Just block the follow-up to Curved Bullet and heal them up so they don't get burst down. Pulse Lady, I think right now, even though they are behind, this is their game to lose. They have pressure. They have lost their top 4, and that top lane is still getting pressured by Dahaka. He's still going, but bot lane getting pressured a little bit as well. Hot City, they're playing it slow, they're playing it methodical. Yes, Soa are off to a quick start, but they are playing it like this Dahaka is building.
Yeah.
The entire game. They are race car Dahaka, and sure, you could stick rockets onto the back of your race car to make it go faster, but the second you reach a corner, you're going to crash.
Exactly. It's a very nice description indeed. Now we see the sanctification relatively early used here. Pommy in trouble. Is he going to fall?
He's getting focused. He drops the self-divine shield here, and that was a terrible angle for Hot Sadie. Carlos going back in. He gets isolated. Ancestral is dropped tank over, pushing forward. Borrows the Tyrael explosion and survives. Here comes the Tormented Souls, though. And guess what? Hey, Malthael's still good. He's going to rock through this, but he gets turned on. It is a 2-for-2 right now. Both teams dropping members left, right, and center. Maybe more as Valor moves forward. Looks for Faye. Can't get the finishing blow, though. Psystorm, not enough either.
Wow, fantastic play here by Tank Ovo, dodging so much of that damage, also leeching himself up thanks to his essence, but then came Malthael, and Malthael with Tormented Souls, he is going to wreck your backline, especially when there is no more cooldowns available to really heal, to really protect yourselves, and you could see how one hero made all the difference here. But look at Pommy, he had to use his Divine Shield so early to keep himself out of trouble. Now, here comes the Dahaka show, he lands that isolation, and he is holding the front line here. Dodging the Tyrael explosion, well done, but now Malthael.
Beautiful. Yeah, Sonya actually speared into the explosion. That's that she is the one who got blown up there as Dahaka got another great drag. Dahaka doing exactly what he needs to do. He's not going to be a tank this game, so he needs to focus on blowing up, able to pick up another kill there, picking up the Uther. Uther dropping as much healing as he can, keeping his team alive as they push into this point, trying to grab themselves a counter kill.
Shy with the dodge.
To the minions. Why focus down the speed shield, though? Able to micro backwards and drop some good damage onto the Hacker. But right now, once again, Hot Sadie continues to be on the back foot and the talent behind.
Man, you can't do replays in China because there's action all across the board. The moment the replay was over, the next teamfight was already starting, and Uther fell, Pommy fell. But nice holding here by Soa, pushing Hot Lady back, securing themselves control over the shrine thanks to Sonya. And look at that Sonya build, by the way. It's all about self-sustain. There are no auto-attack talents, no war pain, no focus attack. It's all about staying alive and spinning as much as possible.
It is, and she kind of needs it with Dahaka not going for any sustain at all, really, other than that extra essence at level 4. That's basically all he has done here. Cocktail getting a little bit of damage. Tyrael not able to get the teleport here, slightly mistimed it, so has to pull backwards a bit. But they will still kill off this Punisher before the keep is under too much pressure. So they're not in a rough position, but So already knew this. They're already soaking top. They're already soaking bot, using that double global to their advantage. Sonya getting chased really far here. Valor with that speed boost, trying to keep up, but was not able to do so.
Yeah, and what I really like about this patient playstyle by Soa, by only choosing fights when you're ahead one level, is that Hot Lady, when they're behind, They have a double support hyper carry comp. They have no hard engage. They have no judgment. They have no, I don't know, bird charge, no dwarf toss by Muradin. When they're behind, they're going to have to patiently wait until SOA makes a mistake and maybe they can catch one off guard. However, SOA, they don't want to fight those straight up 5 versus 5s. Only when they have a talent lead, because otherwise the double support comp might be too strong and too sustainy. So I got to give a lot of credit to SOA and their patient yet very calculated playstyle.
I would agree with you. They're doing a pretty good job right now. Dahaka is
they found him.
There. Oh, no, yeah, they stormed him. Speed boost. He's on the run. But guess what? Like you said, they have no engagement. Yeah. Their only stun is Rain of Vengeance and Uther. And neither of them were in range. So a little bit of an issue. They're going to have a hell of a lot of trouble actually knocking people down. We're actually going to see SOA using that to their advantage. They see everyone stop. They push bot. They take it down. They've got impalers. They grab themselves another fort.
Yeah, SOA is everywhere right now. They took down all the forts right now. They have mercenaries pushing bottom and middle at the same time. They're applying so much global pressure right now that it is extremely hard for HotSlade to rotate and defend in time. In 16 now, that's going to be a big advantage, a big obstacle for HotSlade to overcome. And if they drop this Punisher once again, I think they might lose a keep, because after 12 minutes, those guys are starting to hit a lot hard. And I'm not sure if the tower line is still standing in top. I think it is, but anyway, that could be the first keep of the game if they don't defend very well.
It might well be. We see HotSlade on a little bit of the defense here in the top lane, because there's a big old push coming in.
Yep.
And this push in the bot lane is going to have to stop and come home. Malthael's down.
That is
bad
huge
news for HotSlade here, because now this keep is under huge duress. A minion wave is just about to arrive. They're going to get this keep. They're just going to give up the keep for a fort. Like, they can't counter push quick enough. Like, yeah, they can sustain here forever, but the push is not quick enough. Be back. Yeah, now you see.
Okay.
Carlo. Can Carlo defend at the zero?
Yes,
oh, he's pulled in. Can he survive? He can drop sack. He stays alive.
Oh, that's a big win though, still.
They were able to be back, yes.
Yeah, no sanctification for another 90 seconds. That's a huge cooldown, especially if you consider the performance of Malthael. Not only did he die earlier as well, he also used the Tormented Soul. So if they get this Punisher now in time, SOA that is, they might take one of the most advantageous fights they could have possibly hoped for. No Tyrael ulti, no Malthael ulti, and of course, big bad Punisher knocking on the front door on the core. This might be all or nothing for HotSlade.
Yeah, and they're gonna get it, because Sonia's just been left top, and they don't even need to finish the Punisher. They've got so many low minions here. They just need to wait for Dahaka to have Burrow up, which it looks like they've done. They're going to move in. HotSlade, the clever move here. They're moving around in a very unpredictable position. They've seen the explosion. They know that bush is no longer about to be scouted.
Look how far away they place themselves from the bottom bushes. They know exactly what they're trying to do. They just want to stay safe here. Falset, of course, has that gust available. If
HotSlade need to pull to mid.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is it. They pull it over to the middle keep Tetcher.
Nice Tyrael.
But they go straight up for the core. Oh my god, that was a good gust.
The gust is good. They bought some time. They're going straight for it. HotSlade coming back in. The Punisher is distracted. It does not land the roots of anyone as they move in to try and defend. But SOA have bought themselves so much time. It is GG. Beautiful move there by SOA. And they take game number 1.
Wow. When a boss pull goes wrong. They had a good idea, don't get me wrong. HotSlade definitely wanted to bait the Punisher over the wall, pull it over to the healthy lane, which was the middle in that case, and then defend from there. However, that gust hit 4 or 5 people at the same time and denied any defense issues. It was so good.
Oh, you want to fight us under your keep? Now we good. You can stay over there. Might go further away. What a beautiful move there by the Falstad. Game 1 goes over to SOA, and that already really puts a dent in the plans of HotSlade to try and overtake RPG. Because even if they go 1-1 now, RPG will still be a point ahead of them. So RPG looking good, even though they're unlikely to take a point in their game today. It's still good. They're still in a solid 4th position unless KT somehow are able to take their game versus E-Star, which is also once again a bit unlikely.
Yeah. This was the biggest chance for HotSlade to finally pull even to their big rivals RPG and maybe successfully claiming that number 4 slot here. But with already being 1 map down and at the maximum, getting 1 point out of this entire series, they missed their big opportunity. They missed their big chance. And SOA, I gotta say, that was a very, very impressive performance.